past, present, and future. So beyond space, creation and destruction happen simultaneously. So in the dimension of time start the past, present, and the future. But in Akashic readings, there is no past, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts, and he has Kanchi Kailasa Sagadnipitam, the incumbent emperor of the Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam, the present 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, 3rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam, and he is elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders. And Supreme Pontiff is revered as a teacher of Hinduism, the most prolific, most viewed, read, and watched. He has authored 300 books, hours of discourses, enriched over 1 billion lives digitally, and he is respected as the commentator of all the sacred scriptures like the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Shiva Sutras, the Brahma Sutras, the Yoga Sutras, the Rudrakanyas, the Rudras, the Rishis, Rishikas, Bhairavas, Bhairavis, Sannyasis. And he is the establisher of the letter of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books.
Paramashiva, the powers of Paramashiva. But before that, let us learn about what are Shaktis. So today you will be witnessing the following powers of third eye, where one awakens the ability to scan and see everything and anything just as they see with their two eyes, and the solutions for those body problems. But before you witness this extraordinary demonstration, let us learn what are Shaktis. In the Vedagamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail for a man and meaning to reach the divine. So there are two types of manifesting powers, Shaktis and Siddhis. Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are the divine, and Siddhis are the powers that manifest from tapas or penance for enlightenment. They are on the path of enlightenment. Shaktis express or penance, and they are on the path of enlightenment. So, who is the source of all these Shaktis? How do we manifest all these Shaktis? How do we get initiated into manifesting these Shaktis? Paramashiva is the primordial divinity, the ultimate reality and cause, which is self-effulgent, Sthiti, Samhara, Trobhava, and Anugraha. Creation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. And Paramashiva has incarnated, is reviving all these lost sciences. And Swamiji was recognized as an avatar at a very young age by the enlightened Guru Swamiji to revive these sciences and to initiate billions of people to manifest these extraordinary sciences from the disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra, Sri Vidya, truth, Jnana, mapped into your consciousness, Prajna, manifest as a power and possibility of every being, Prajnana. So let us now watch a small video which explains what is Diksha, what is initiation, and
Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy. Virodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, to bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should use energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda Paramashivam.
The first is the Shastra Pramana, the unchangeable truths revealed in the source scriptures by Paramashiva. Next is the Apta Pramana, the experiences and results of Nithyananda Paramashivam. This millennium's avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. And last is the Pratyaksha Pramana, or the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. So, what are scriptures? And they are a superior authority for Hindus. Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. Vedas and Agamas, without further delay. Let us get ready to witness a unique and exciting demonstration of the power of third eye. So, the power of third eye is where one awakens the ability to read with a blindfold. So, let us see the Shastra Pramana. Manasodadhyat lakshaye lakshamuttamam. The translation goes, by fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without space, attaining the space of Paramashiva. The next is Apta Pramana, where it goes back to the time of Bhagavan Krishna, when Bhagavan Krishna in his form, which is completely narrated by Arjuna as he sees Bhagavan Krishna through the third eye. Natumam shakyase drashtum anenaiva swachakshushah divyam dadami te. Behold my cosmic opulence. Next is the Atma Pramana. The Swamiji. Next is the Sakshi Pramana, the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. So you can have Samadhi, only the third eye region is active and almost 90% of the rest of the brain is at peace. So this is the observation from scientific experimentation. And now you will be witnessing the live Sakshi Pramana. Nitya Kaladharananda, who is 15 years old and a Balasant of the Nityananda Gurukul. She is going to be manifesting the power of third eye in front of all. I have a medically tested eye band. You can see in front is a complete opaque sheet and behind is a thick sponge. You can see that there's a strap to comfortably strap the eye band to Ma Kaladhara's head. So you can see that this is in hospitals of India, and it is proven that even with the eyes open inside this eye band, there is no possible way of light entering in this eye band. So I'll be placing this eye band on Ma Kaladhara's eyes. You can see that I'm strapping it to her head. So you can see Ma Kaladhara, look to your right, left, up. The live Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel, and Ma Kaladhara will be reading it live in front of all of you today. So I request all of you to go ahead. You can post emojis, numbers, shapes, anything, sentences. You can post medical terms, science posting. And her eye band.
There is a comment from 7 SEARC. Suhila Survey SUN Santu AANNI PASHAAG Bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Yes, SPH Nithyananda page. So that was amazing. I request all of you to continue posting. You can post anything you want in the comments, and Ma Kaladhara will be reading it out. Okay. And so we also have something interesting today. So you can see I have 3 storybooks with me. 30 pages in the second book, and around 50 pages, page number, and Ma Kaladra will be reading it out. So this is book 1, this is book 2, and this is book 3. Any one of the viewers can post which book they want Ma Kaladra. So I'm showing these 3 books to the, and Ma Kaladra will be reading it out. Now, all the viewers can choose which 3 books out of these 3 they want.
Yes. Again, 7 search tool has posted picture. Paramapriyananda has posted page 30.
Okay, so I request you to post which book you want the. So Ma Kaladra, you can open page 30 in this book and you can read. So I request you to show it a little higher in front of the camera. Yes. Yes, so Ma Kaladra has chosen this page and you can giving that book to her then. Yes. Ma Kaladra, you can choose page 30. You can actually describe the pictures on page 30.
Yes. So here and there is a person standing here speaking to the girl, and he is wearing a purple colored dress with a yellow and black color shawl on his head, and the girl's shawl is flying and the guy is lying down. The guy is lying down. The guy who is wearing a purple dress.
Okay, so that was a very is running, and the man in the purple dress is running. So is lying down. So Ma Kaladra has beautifully described. She even described that there's a green curtain here. So you can. Yes, and I encourage all of you to continue posting more page numbers. You can post. We have 3 books with us, and you can post. Yes, Ma Kaladra, why don't you go ahead and read the next comment?
Fantastic Ma with an exclamative mark, and she has posted so proud of you with the 2 dots and a closed bracket, and expression of me, I am Jalandhar Nithyananda.
3 books in one. So this is 3 in 1. So you can choose any book. So even in this.
Expressions of me, I am Jalandhar Nithyananda has posted the one with the. This book has only 30 pages.
Okay, amazing. So as all of you can see, this book has only 30 pages in it. Yes. So okay. So okay. Ma Kaladra, why don't you go ahead and read?
Yes. Expression.
Yes. So Ma Kaladra has chosen correctly page number 22.
There are 2 males, and the first person has a gray but little purple hair. light pink, and the person next to him is wearing a light green turban with a light green shawl and wearing a dark green um, top. And in the next picture, sitting on is yellow with green with black color lines,
Okay.
and they're showing three pillars, and then in between where they're sitting is light green.
Top, and how the second person is wearing a dark green shawl and a light green shawl, and in the second box there is two people sitting on a sofa, a cushion kind of thing with four bolsters next to them, and she was able to read and see through her third eye. It is very amazing, a beautiful demonstration of the power of third eye. Now I'll be removing the eye band of Ma Kaladra. So you can see how the eye band is completely intact. There's no change to the eye band. Everything is the same. And you can see how Mahakala and the yogis doing a body scanning. So we'll be chanting the Shastra Pramanas now. And we'll be joining with you after a short break. Till then, I request all of you to call your family members and friends and go ahead and start posting your comments. Start posting requests for body scanning in the Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda channel. The unique thing about body scanning is that the third eye reveals the root cause of the problem, why the problem even started in your body in the first place. The third eye, the solution which Paramashiva gave was for the root cause of the problem. So let us now chant the Shastra Pramana for this power of body scanning. Swadehe Jagato Vapi, to the subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body. Swadeha, or of the whole universe, simultaneously consist of the essential reality. They are being absorbed in their source cause, Paramashiva, and by the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from Teriyar. Teriyar was one of the prominent disciples of Agastya, and one day a man suffering from a severe headache came to Agastya for healing, and Agastya did the body scanning and revealed that the person is healed and completely cured of the headache. Thus, he gained the name Terayar. Next is the Atma Pramana, the experience of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Maharaj, had a multiple compound hand fracture. I was forced to go for surgery and therefore for medical checkups related to that. And at that time, they detected heavy metal quantity in different organs of mine, and it was revealed that I had been poisoned without our knowledge. I immediately used diagnostic methods. And last is the Sakshi Pramana, the experiences and results of the extraordinary manifestations being manifested through the different disciples of Swamiji who have been initiated. So participants are able to manifest. Even you yourself can manifest. Just join the Paramashivoham level 2 program and you can also manifest. But now, by the Balasants and the Nithyananda Yogis. So now, I request all of you to continue posts, call your friends, show them that they can manifest this power. Yes. So now you will be witnessing the extraordinary demonstration, a live demonstration of the power of body scanning. Posting your requests and comments for the power of body scanning, and the Balasants are eagerly waiting to manifest this extraordinary Shakti for all of you. Expressions of me, I am, has posted. Mahajalandhara Stitananda has posted, my sister Mayuri would like a body scanning about healing her diabetes, please. Color is my shirt. Okay, so I will be doing the scanning for what color is your shirt, and Soni, you can do the scanning for Ahmed Daya's body. So we'll three be chanting the Mahavakya together. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ahmadaya, Paramashiva has revealed two colors. First thing I was able to see is you are revealed. I request you to get back in the chat and confirm whether whether the scanning was correct or not. And you can also share how you felt when
Before even drinking water, immediately after she gets up, she has to have 1 tablespoon of neem leaves and turmeric. She has to make a paste with both of them. She has to mix them together and make a paste. And she should have a whole tablespoon of it. She should eat it as it is. And then only she should even drink water and have anything else. So if she follows this simple solution for 1 month,
tell your sister to follow this solution and she will be completely healed. Mahajalandhar Nithyananda has posted, I would like to move to India and first to Europe, please, where my husband is. What do I need to be aware of that is blocking me in moving, please? Okay, first thing, Swamiji has actually at Devi Parashakti, she will be guiding you and telling what is right. But Swamiji has for now told anybody who is out of India, best not to move into India as yes, that is a very simple solution and a simple scanning, but amazing how she was able to see through her third eye and scan even and reveal the solution. So I request Ma Mahajalandhar Nithyananda and Ahmadaya, I request you to get back in the chat and verify. How are you able to manifest this power? When was the first time you manifested? And how do you feel? This is not a power which any normal kid can do around the world. How do you feel being able to scan another person's body and being able to reveal?
I was doing a demo on for Shiva Diksha. A few participants had come to Adinam, and I was really nervous. And then, but even though I was nervous, I still did the body scanning, and I asked Swamiji, what should I tell him? What is the problem he has? And then am I just thinking, because it was like so exact. If he doesn't have it, then it's wrong. If he has it, then it's correct. So like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether I should say it or so. And then I was just sitting there for a few minutes, not knowing what to do. But then after that, I decided. I was so shocked. He didn't have any words to say. He couldn't say anything, and he was just looking at me. And he couldn't say anything. He was so. Solutions come. I'm completely confident, and I just stayed because I know it will be correct. Because after all, Swamiji has revealed it, and Paramashiva has revealed it.
So beautiful. Just with that simple trust. Okay, why don't you go ahead and scan my house? I was like, okay. And I did I did the house scanning for him. And I revealed that he is on the 3rd floor. And he was like, no, I'm not on the 3rd. Without the ground floor, without the basement. If you count it, I'm living on the 3rd floor. And then he was like, yeah, I'm living on the 3rd floor. And then I continued the scanning. And then I was like, you have a guitar. It's next to your sofa on the corner of the wall. In front of one, it's kind of like a closet kind of thing. In fact, he was so shocked because that's exactly how it was. He had a guitar right next to the sofa in the corner of the house, and the black case was a little open, and the guitar was shown. So he was so shocked how he was leaning against the wall, and the black case is open. It's just the trust on Swamiji, just with the trust on Swamiji. Whether we get it right or no, at the end, it is all Swamiji's grace. Even if we get it right, joining us in this beautiful power manifestation session, we already have Manitya Sadashiva ready to start the next session where you will be learning about Devi Parashakti herself. So now, we thank all of you for joining. Please stay.
Powers by the Balasants of Nithyananda Gurukul. And every single day, no matter what, without fail, we have seen how the Balasants have been demonstrating the powers of Paramashiva. And just through the initiation as Ma Nitya Yoga Prananda, and we can see every single day how so many people are being benefited. So how so many people are asking their questions, are having their bodies scanned, and are seeing literally the powers of Paramashiva and having the higher possibility of the avatar on planet Earth. As he is manifesting as Devi Parashakti herself, the embodiment of the divine feminine consciousness. Now, in this, how do we connect with her? And how do we ensure that we can, in some way or form, receive her blessings? One of the great chants, sacred chants, which is dedicated to Lalita or Devi Parashakti, and it is a powerful characteristic of Devi Parashakti. Now, in these next slides, we will be entering into this apt as today we are experiencing Devi Parashakti literally as a physical being, literally as she has come down to interact with each and every one of us, go in and come out. And she is the one whom we all revere and worship, as well as the worries everything at one shot. Now, let us understand and begin with the Dhyana Shloka of Devi Parashakti. Joining with me today is Ma Nitya Atma.
Yes, we'll now chant the Dhyana Shloka from Lalita Sahasranama. Sinduraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Mauli Spurat Taranayaka Shek.
As well, the Divine Mother is to be meditated upon as shining in vermilion. The
next Dhyana Shloka is Arunam Karuna Tarangitakshim Dhrutapashankusha Pushpabana Chapam Animadi Viravrita Mayukairahamityeva Vibhavaye Bhavani.
Her hands, she is surrounded on all sides by powers such as Anamaphares, and she is the self within me.
So Devi, the ultimate pure feminine consciousness, Parashakti, is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions of universes comes.
In compassion, Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as Nija Avatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda.
So, in the words of Parashakti herself, it says, raising as Omkara, expressing as Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Krimkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in to give good boon to everyone, to bestow all goodness. Hiranya Garbhaswarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samraja Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodasi.
Shiva, and Shiva manifesting as the source of existence, powers of existence, expression of existence, and from the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis. Do good. Parashodasi, Meenakshi, is the form of Nithyananda. I came to bless every one of you.
So literally, you are seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti, right? When you're having the darshan in the screen. So how Dakshina? So it can be of any lowest value. It can be even 1 paise or even 1 cent.
Now you can offer that to Devi Parashakti, and after the darshan is over, do namaskar is there. And ultimately, you'll not take the Devi darshan for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous, unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you to the powerful cognition. It will break your so, and it's all arranged in a plate here, as you can see. The coconut and the red bangles, as well as the red vestram, is also optional. But this betel leaf, betel nut, the banana, is a basic necessity for each and every one to offer to Parashakti, Devi Parashakti. Ask her our questions and request her boons, request her energy in our lives, request her guidance, whatever it might be. So as you can see, Devi Parashakti has made herself available in all of the YouTube channel, and this will give you access an array of more than 7,000 YouTube videos and all the darshans, dikshas, satsang sessions, everything that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally compassionately made sure that we all.
Yes. So the next official social media platform through which you can connect with Parashakti and ask for your blessings is the official Facebook page, Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam. You can like and follow
Nithyananda on Twitter, and also make sure that you are asking your questions in as a reply to the main live feed of on Twitter. You can hit reply, and then you can use the hashtag #AskTheAvatar in order
to ask your questions in the comment section.
Yes. And perhaps you're not social media savvy and you're not comfortable at all with social media yet. No need to worry. You can ask your questions on Kaila for even making donations and anything that you'd like to do today. So we'll be going through that in the later segments of today's program. Now we will understand the Devi Parashakti to give us boons, to take care of our lives, and to give us protection, as many of us are struggling to do so in our lives on the outside today. But Devi Parashakti has not only attended to and being protected at all times. Devi Parashakti has literally given us so many of the most beautiful gifts through these divine Akashic rays. Mother would carry her child through any storm, whatever it is. We are seeing how Devi Parashakti is literally doing that. And she is guiding each and every one of us as a humanity as a whole. Has given so much of supreme knowledge, whether it comes to the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Hindu Yonijam, or the immunity or the black fungus disease. So many different ways Devi Parashakti has given us supreme knowledge and wisdom. So now, we will now be entering into the next, where humanity is still undergoing the after effects of the cosmic deluge and thousands of deaths due to the global pandemic and emerging fungal epidemic, along with the recent members of the recent.
Yes. So why did this happen? So what has caused this? Who is behind this, and how could we have avoided this? So what is the solution for this? So in this segment of this program,
3.8 million deaths, 175 million confirmed cases, and the top worst affected countries being USA in
75 million people.
And we can easily see how the entire country, India, is undergoing so much of turmoil. And here we lack people, so extremely high. And the suicide is one of the biggest causes of deaths in India in groups 17 to 24, 15 to 24. And that is a very alarming
COVID, which is actually about to hit the Indian population at large. So how could we have prevented this?
2022 வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். நன்றாய் தெரிந்துகொள், சொல்வதைப் புரிந்துகொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போல்வதைப் புரிந்துகொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள். என்ன நடக்கிறதென்று பார். முறையாக கைலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை அதுவரை உனை காத்து செல்லாதே. ஓம் Om. Om.
In 2020 itself, I had planned to do Padayatra throughout India and 12 Jyotirlingas through my son, Swamiji. They chased the captain of the ship out of the country and see what is going to happen.
In 2020, planning for a full year, I'm going to walk from Rameshwaram to Amarnath. 1 year with 10,000 people. 10,000 people will be walking with me. Maybe 200 vehicles to carry our food and all the other items, transportation. enjoying the river banks, forests, and now. How the Buddhism spread. 10,000 monks walking from village to village. What will happen? That's only monks. Here power manifesting 10,000 people. The whole village will be manifesting. Before that, all the Balalayam, everything. Balalayam is going to be like the same structure outside with one stone tower, gold coated. It will be something like a 40 to 50 feet tall stone tower, and 5 Rajagopurams, which will be something like 120 Archana or anything, because just for darshan itself there will not be time. Like Tirupati, you can only have darshan and arti, the camp for arti. No other worship is allowed in the main temple. So all the archana, all the other offerings, like people will offer the archanas and other, everything will be done to the Utsava Murti, which will be kept in the. So by next year, the Balalayam will be ready. So 2019 full year, I will be conducting the programs and everything. 2020 will be the one full year Padayatra, walking. From, it will be Sannyasi, Brahmachari, Grihastha, all put together. 10,000 people will be walking. What a scene it will be. I think that is the only way for people to come where I am living. Now I am sitting in one place to prepare these 10,000 people and make this science completely manifesting powers. We will literally solve every person's problem in every village. The way we are walking. Understand, 1,200 years before in Tiruvannamalai temple carvings, how the baby will be in the womb in 2nd month, 3rd month, all that is detailed way carved. It is there. Which scanning machine was there in those days other than the third eye? Very detailed carvings are there. Even Srirangam Rangaranga Gopuram, in that next to Rangaranga Gopuram, there is a Rangaraja Mandapam. We have already collected some chunk of 80-90 to be displayed in this Balalayam. Work is going on all of that. 2000 years before, when this Cambodia and all these civilizations were flourishing, two community from, but the common civilian, these two community only went. So Nagarattar and Saivavalalar agriculture.
Yes. So since the age of 10, the Supreme Pontiff courses, so this 16th to 17th November 2005, which happened in Chennai in Tamil Nadu, where he is conducting a huge satsang on the title Anandam Selvathai Inikum.
And he continued to conduct so many programs, enriching many people, giving darshan, initiation, and taking the science of enlightenment to the world. And here you can see
Puram in Tamil Nadu, he is conducting another satsang in the title Ain Guru. What is the need for the Guru?
and more programs conducted on the 21st of November 2005.
And again, for the Hinduism happening in Tiruvannamalai in 2005, huge crowds of people actually swarming around him, waiting for his darshan and healing.
And on the 1st of January 2006 in Adi Kailasha Satyajnana, celebrating the 29th Jayanti on Guru Purnima Day.
And this is the Shakti Spurana program picture, the Dhyana Spurana program, which the Supreme Pontiff himself conducted. Participating in the Homa, and the Supreme Pontiff himself is conducting the Saptayagam, the Homa, in Salem in Tamil Nadu. These are the various pictures. The 27th, 30th of July in 2006. So now we saw the various contributions of the Supreme Pontiff Hinduism, how he has enriched thousands and thousands of people by healing, by giving enriching sessions and actually explaining to them and giving them the glimpse of
Devi Parashakti's solution for this pralaya to end, revealed on the 31st of May.
2022 இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே முறையாக கைலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் ஓம் ஓம்.
So Devi revealed that the only solution 12 Jyotirlingas is allowed to happen, and India should receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with great reverence and respect as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the head of five.
See, Kali Yuga is the worst of all the 4 yugas where man will be his own worst enemy. So in the Kurma Purana, sage Vyasa, he says, Idam Kali Yugam Goram Sampraptam Pandurandana Tato Gacchami Devasya Varanasim Mahapuri. Asmin Kali Yuge Ghore Lokha Papa Nuvarthina.
Ages in all the world. People are sinful and forget the dharma of the 4 Varanas and the 4 ashramas. In fact, men are so sinful that no prescribed penance atones for their great sins. The only place which is
Kalau Rudro Maheshwaraha. Brahma is the presiding divinity or lord for Krita Yuga. The Treta Yuga, it is Bhagavan Ravi.
2nd of January 1978, out of his deepest compassion to protect humanity, Paramashiva himself descended into the human being to descend onto planet Earth. It would have been too late for humanity. Let us listen to that revelation here.
It is not lost. Just the last minute climax before it was going to be put off. 1979 would have been late. If I had time, I would have sent only ambassadors. Because no time, I have to get up and come directly. I have everything needed to bring that science back to life and establish its legitimacy.
Advent on the planet Earth was to protect humanity from this great pralaya and to bring the new age of Satyuga and to bring the superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Let us listen to Devi Parashakti's revelations on this.
ஓம் 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 உலக மக்களே, இந்த பெரும் பிரளயம் கவலை வேண்டாம் மக்களே, இங்கு ஆனந்தமாக இருங்கள்.
The people of the world, listen. Kali Yuga has matured and over time has come for Satya Yuga to happen. So this great pralaya has come. Don't worry, people. In the form of Nithyananda, I myself have come here. The avatar has been preparing for this Padayatra since the age of 10.
So the Supreme Pontiff began in
Tamil Nadu to Tiruvannamalai, his birthplace, and a huge spiritual pilgrimage site.
And when Supreme Court was around 19 years of age, you can see the Ramakrishna Mutt where he could recall the yatra from Chennai, Tamil Nadu.
Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the international mission, the Nithyananda Sangha, to revive Kailasa internationally on the 31st of December 1929.
And
Vijayatra all over the world to enrich people from all different backgrounds.
And with his intensity and dedication, crowds of thousands of people were gathered around him.
Initiating them into the superconscious breakthrough.
So subsequently, the avatar personally organized and led yatras yearly and guided individual souls, not just to physical, spiritual sight.
Humanity.
So you can see the Kodikan Ratha Yatra, which was actually led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and culminated with the consecration of the Garbha Mandir for the Nithyanandeshwara Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti. And yeah.
And here are the different Kailasas created by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to create spiritual
all kinds of diseases. So we'll now watch the video clip of the Rudrabhishekam performed with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च प्रगल्भाय च नमो च गण्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमः सोऽभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रवृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो विशङ्गिने च शुधिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णे च वेजायुधिने च नमस्कायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः ॐ नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च वशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हन्यसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च क्षेमाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुनस्तये च नमो गोष्ट्याय च गृह्
And in 2009, the Avatar
Sadguru Nitya Sadguru Nitya Sadguru Nityane Ninmugam Ninaindu Ingu Nirmalamaga Sadguru Nityane Nitya Sadguru Nitya Sadguru Nitya Sadguru Nityane ஏக்கத்தோடப்பா புண்ணியம் எல்லாம் போனதே எரிந்த வயிறும் ஏக்கமும் சேர்த்து விசுத்தி அசுத்தியானதே விசுத்தியை தீர்க்க விமகுரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே ஆமை பூகுந்த எண்ணகந்தினை
of super consciousness have been sown.
So 1,000 and plus ecosystems, the Sarvanyapitas, billion people worldwide were enriched, and Avatar has created those ecosystems, you can see.
And here are some of the Kailasa in Columbus, Ohio.
Kailasa in Los Angeles.
Kailasa in San Jose.
So you can see the Kailasa in Charlotte, USA. Kailasa in Washington, D.C. Kailasa in Toronto, Canada, which was established by the Supreme Pontiff himself. Dubai, you can see.
Kailasa in London. Scotland.
Kailasa in Scotland, Kailasa in Netherlands, the various in France,
Kailasa in Switzerland.
This is the Pattanam ecosystem, Kailasa in Pattanam. The Kailasa in Varanasi, Kailasa in Thiruvanmiyur, Chennai, Kailasa in Alangulam, Kailasa in Chennai, Tambaram, you can see Kailasa in Chennai, Avadi. Kailasa in Chennai, Avadi is seen in Melbourne, Australia.
Kailasa in New Zealand. Kailasas to ensure humanity survives and created the sovereign order of Kailasa with thousands of sannyasis with no discrimination against caste, creed, or religion.
So you can see Supreme Pontiff in Hinduism initiating thousands into spiritual healing who have become healers to heal the world. So he reclaims the Hindu-centric freedom. So the thousands of Padayatras were conducted by the Hindu diaspora worldwide, honoring the hard work of Supreme
Malaysia being reinvigorated.
Yes, you can see for every major festival, devotees from various places do the Padayatra out of sincere devotion to the supreme part of Hinduism.
And free organic nutritious meals being served continuously, and over 1 billion e-citizens being enriched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and a diverse global population in 300
greatest digital media platforms, over 1 billion views through websites like kailasa.org, nityananda.org, Nityananda Hindu University, kailasa.tv, nityananda.tv, and the various social media platforms in the Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and online applications like the Enlighten app, Enlighten Up, SoundCloud, or the
all e-citizens of Kailasa live.
Yes, so these are the various global initiatives that was taken through Kailasa in holistic health, education, and development of human potential, sharing the practical applications of protecting the humanity from the huge cosmic deluge, the pralaya which is going to affect them. But yet he was driven away and chastened out of India itself. So we saw what Devi Parashakti.
Devi Parashakti. Now, many of you know and are a part of this beautiful Hindu tradition where each and every one of us guide in every single step of the way. He's our personal guide as we are making steps in our lives, as we are manifesting new adventures and new ventures, new relationships, and having whatever it is in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. As we are unfolding a new path in our lives, we request the blessings of the divine, that the divine is not as present as we used to have in our childhood, in previous times. Perhaps we would have been so happy to be able to interact, to go to the temple for every single blessing, for every single temple occasion. And we would have been so, internet is only what is available to us, and we are in global lockdown. It is so hard to find a way properly that we can interact with effective rituals to manifest your reality as you want it in your life through all of these different offerings. Now, understand that we are part of the grand Leela played out for the only purpose of enlightenment.
So we will now invoke Devi Parashakti by chanting the verse from Mula Agama of Manonmani Dhyanam.
And the English translation. Moonlike face holding the Vedas on hand, fire in eyes, with lotus flower gracing and blessing.
Trinetram Sashini Bhavadanam Vedahastam Dadhanam Savye Padmam Varadama Pare Chabayam Chakshamalam.
And the English translation. I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes glowing like the moon and holding the Vedas, lotus embracing, blessing and gracing hands.
Parashakti. So the Atharva Veda, it beautifully has described. Treda Jutam Brahmanedam Hiranyam Agnerakam Priyatamam Babhuva Somasyaikham Insitasya Parapatata.
And powerful Apaha, let that triple gold be for your long life. Now we all should understand that gold is a divine element. Many of us know and understand its value and its pricelessness in understand that, but we don't understand the next level, the quality that is actually divine and sacred in gold. In fact, it purifies anything that it touches, and it's an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual.
So you can see that gold is present in all the scriptures, the Agamas, the Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasa. One was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses. Gold was offered as a ritual fee, and it was in abundance. And it was used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities like cows. And
The
kingdom.
river Saraswati was called the Hiranyavartani in the Atharva Veda. As we were saying, gold is a supreme element for offering gifts to ones you love and revere. And the Vedic rishis actually understood this extremely potent metal that was gold, and they applied the enlightenment energy for thousands of years. It literally lasts forever.
So with that, we'll move on to the offerings to Devi Parashakti. The first offering.
English translation: Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion, and she removes all fears. Now, if it is meant the autumn of our lives, when we are going through existentially, more and more our thoughts are turning inwards, and we are questioning inside of us the purpose of our lives
At your own capacity without of deep devotion. And you can also avail the opportunity through the YouTube super chat and super sticker option, which we will be guiding you in the later part of this segment. The next offering is the Sankalpa chanting. So the Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 12, verse 34.
To this universe, that God is being prayed without any interest in anything, gives the knowledge that leads to salvation, and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. Now, the Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 12, with all the fruition of the desires and wishes that you are yearning for, every single day, having a conscious resolution is how you should start the day, and understanding that your consciousness works more powerfully today.
So the next offering is the Sahasranama Swarna Kasu, the golden coin offering, which is a special and unique archana offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. So you can offer a coin inscribed with each of the 1008 names and receive the blessings to have all the divine qualities, the Ananta Kalyana Gunas of Parashakti. It is available at 3 sizes and 3 denominations.
Ananta Kalyana Gunas, which you will be bestowed with. The sacred thing is that the science of the chant, the sacred chants, is actually used and implemented.
A ring with a pearl. The Meenakshi Pancharatnam, it beautifully describes Muktahara Lasat Kirita Ruchiram Purnendu Vakram Nidhim.
The English translation: I bow down to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has pearls and face shining like the full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with compassion.
So you can offer the finger ring with the next offering is the offering of the golden lotus, the Swarna Padma Pushpam. The Kamikagama, it describes Ashtavidyeshwaropeta Kumbhavara.
All the kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with new cloth. They should be adorned with the lotus flower made of gold. Actually, in the sacred Hindu scripture, the Padma is in some way associated with the lotus. And in some way, it is always implemented into the worship of Paramashiva and the worship of the ultimate. And it always involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, lotus pericarp, and lotus petal. References. The lotus is such a beautiful divine flower that actually represents Devi herself as Devi Parashakti, flower in that whole pond. Just in that same way, if we're offering to Devi Parashakti the Swarna Padma Pushpa, we can receive the blessings to radiate the state of the lotus flower.
And the next offering to Parashakti is the Swarna Mitti, the golden touring. So the Shastra Pramana, it describes Nakadhititi Samchannana.
Devotees who prostrate at your feet, you whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower. Devi Parashakti is adorning her feet always with the sacred toe ring. And it is not simply like any married woman in the Hindu tradition does wear the toe ring, but this has significance. As we saw in the previous shot, the most sacred offering that we can give to Devi Parashakti.
Yes, the next offering is the Swarna Mantika, the golden hairline jewelry. Sudha Sarabi Varshini, she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves.
Represented by 1,000-petaled lotus at the crown of the head. And it is such a beautiful representation here as we are talking, that the nectar which is overflowing from that very lotus, the Sahasra traditional piece of jewelry that is offered to Devi Parashakti, and also that all Hindu women are wearing as well as an ode and a remembrance and offering as well to Devi Parashakti. Are taking the next steps to make a payment or to register for yourself for any of these offerings, you can go to tiny.cc/Devi offerings. The illumining splendor of Devi's toenails dispels the darkness of ignorance in the devotees of prostrating at her feet, celestial beings who always prostrate before Devi. And Tamoguna is considered as darkness. And by constantly prostrating before Devi, the ignorance is removed and they attain knowledge. You can offer during the Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam and for the Guru Purnima festival upcoming. This Guru Purnima festival is such a beautiful festival, a most auspicious time to surrender all the karmas that you have, everything that you have, responsibility for the whole universe as Guru. And you can ensure that you are blessed with it. The next offering is the Vastra Seva. This is the offering of the sacred adornment or the sacred cloth in order to adorn the deity and the body itself of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. E-Hundi offering, which again you can make as a general donation and you can make for any amount. The Sankalpa chanting, the Devi Sahasranama Kasu, the Mukta Anguti, the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the Swarna Metti, and the Swarna Mangti offerings. Now, you might be in 2 categories as we are concluding this segment, and you just heard all of the different offerings. On one side, I'm sure many of you are so wanting. If that is your case, you can fill out the intention form for making these offerings. You can go to tiny.cc/bhavasamadhi and fill out the intention form. This intention form will help you in manifesting, and that link will lead you to this very page as you are seeing. So as you can see, the Parashakti Bhavasamadhi Darshan donations are here listed out. And then you will be filling out your billing details and all of your details as well, your payment details. Make sure that you submit this form. Then after you are filling out the payment, you can go to Sankalpa 2021 form. And this is tiny.cc/Sankalpa20 Devalaya, or chanting and making sure that your name is chanted during the puja. And through there, you have to first join the Kailasas Nithyananda YouTube channel as a member. And you can make a donation through the credit card or debit card or PayPal. And you can make any kind of donation. This is what you can offer as the e-hundi amount. And you can also choose the super sticker option where in a small donation as well. So these are all the different options and the beautiful ways that you can literally manifest all of whatever you want to manifest into reality as a immediate and instant result is just through these offerings. You will be able to see in scroll below as well. And another amazing news that we have for all the viewers today is the United Nations has also recognized the person by oppressive forces or supremacist, casteist, and racist people out there. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been continuously working in order to bring the Holocaust and the ongoing genocide against the Supreme Pontiff in some form that the United Nations has recognized the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Today, as we are going on into the next segments, we'll be understanding the details and seeing how the United Nations has recognized the persecution to the international audience by literally showing the whole world the truth. He is bringing an end to that Holocaust which is going on. In the next segments, we'll be seeing on the grounds and taking care of the Kailasa COVID care centers in India, one of the most astounding contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, safest places for people to stay and live during this extremely tense time in the whole Pralaya. We'll be right back with you after a very quick break, and we'll be continuing on with the next segments in today's program.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. But by evolution, community, Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanyapita. Only when you live power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. So don't keep quiet thinking that if I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharma. We all have to coexist together.
Nithyanandam, and welcome to today's segment of the Adi Kailasa ship. Today is an extremely significant day in the history of Kailasa, the only Hindu civilization. The persecution, ethnocide, genocide, specifically femicide of the Kailasa had called for had done an entire study on femicide. Femicide specifically means the killing of women, specifically related to their gender, meaning just because a woman is a woman, killing the woman. And the extreme inhuman crime of femicide is giving a glimpse of the whole persecution that the women community of Kailasa has gone through. We wanted to share this with you at the outset of this segment, and we'll be going into the details of this in the next, or even the 2 billion Hindus at large today. It is actually a victory attempt by various anti-Hindu terrorist militant forces to exterminate Hinduism from the face of this planet. On the one hand, we have a massively powerful way of living our superconsciousness, our real existence, and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has enabled that, continuing to enable that, and sharing with the whole world the real what Hinduism had to offer, a brief look at the Hindu Holocaust and today's situation, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, after facing over 2 decades of persecution and over that each of us is really Paramashiva. So let's take a jump into the next segment to see the roots of this Hinduism. Past in a few words, literally, the whole happening of the Hindu revival today, the Hindu persecution today, in the few words called the freedom struggle of Kailasa, the story of the Hindu enlightened civilizational nation to serve the religious and spiritual needs of 2 billion Hindus. We have all the details in https://kailasa.org. The 2 billion Hindus and the whole of humanity. Kailasa is the only macrocosmic, ancient, Hindu enlightened civilizational nation to serve the religious and spiritual needs of 2 billion Hindus and the whole of humanity. Kailasa nation for Hindus on par with Israel for Jews, Vatican for Catholics, and Tibet for Buddhists. Kailasa was created with the determination to not just preserve of an enlightened culture and civilization based on authentic Hinduism. The mission of Kailasa. Kailasa is a nation created by dispossessed Hindus from around the world who lost the right to persecuted Hindus, irrespective of race, gender, sect, caste, or creed, where they can peacefully live and express their spirituality, arts, and culture free from denigration, interference, and violence, equal and divine, can reach their highest potential irrespective of their color, nationality, religion, gender, sexual orientation, caste, creed, or race. And now a glimpse about what real vegetarianism, worship of nature, organic lifestyle, temple-based living, yoga, manifesting spiritual powers, and the inherent divinity of through a systematic, egregious, and ongoing ethnic cleansing, forced relocation, double killing through genocide and genocide denial over the last 5,000 years on the most religious persecution in the form of forceful conversions, massacres, demolition and desecration of temples, confiscation or destruction of property, incitement to hate, imprisonment, torture from Afghanistan, India, Nepal, Burma, Sri Lanka, all the way to Singapore, Malaysia, Cambodia, and Indonesia. And in the 200 states, 1,700 samsthanas or provinces, and 10,000 sampradayas or remain in few countries, but the Hindus who worshipped in them have been ethnically cleansed. The double killing, which is a Holocaust and its denial. Hindus are the victims of the double killing of Holocaust and the denial of Holocaust. Denying the largest Holocaust, which is an act of crime in the Holocaust, and the heralding of the next crime. The strategy is to first obfuscate and obliterate a people, even speaks of the unbroken continuum of annihilation of the Hindus. 100 million killed, over 1 billion ideologically enslaved, be it by the invading Mughals, perpetrator rapes, forced indoctrination, artificial famines, child abuse, identity distortion, resulting in a systematic physical elimination of over 100 million Hindus, ideological slavery of over 1 billion Hindus,
enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not and setting model community. All powerful cognition. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. The attack only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. We will make the whole planet flourish.
Nithyananda. The next segment is we're going to see how this glorious, the untold story of Hindu Holocaust. So broadly, we can place these. Will Durant, from his book, The Story of Civilization, he says that the Mohammedan conquest of India is probably the bloodiest story in history. The Islamic, and all of this happened between 880 to 1780, when the millions of Hindus were converted to Islam by sword during this period. Million more were raped and murdered and dismembered. Overall, 200 million Hindus were small classes captive, flogged with thongs of rawhide, carried a moving prison with them, and converted the prisoners into obsequious Turks. Second, Sunni jurisprudence, still in use today as a legal manual, it very clearly says that if the infidels, which means the non-believers of Islam, upon serve him and destroyer of his enemies and infidels, and it is necessary to implore his aid upon every occasion. The Prophet moreover commands us to do so. So the legal manual very clearly says that if somebody is termed as an infidel, destroy the infidel, as per the legal manual of the Islamic law. Having done so, Muslims must then, with God's assistance, attack the infidels with all the manner of warlike engines, and must do set fire sanctified by the law. So the law itself sanctifies all the horrendous acts of disarming a person, weakening a person, and forcing that person to convert into the Khilji by his qazi or legal advisor, who says that Hindus are like mud. If silver is demanded from them, they must agree with great humility to offer gold. If a Mohammedan decides to spit into a Hindu's mouth, the Hindu should wipe and confiscate it. To keep the Hindus in abasement is especially a religious duty, because they are the most inveterate enemies of the Prophet. So you can see the hatred is being spread systematically, and it is also sanctified as per the legal. The rape of a continent. Mohammedan, Qasem, Hindu Shah, Firista, idols of Nagarkuta, and mixing the fragments with pieces of cow's flesh filled bags with them and caused them to. The Hindu prisoners were divided into 4 sections and taken to each of the 4 gates of the great Katkar. There, on the stakes, they had carried the economic and the psychological destruction of Hindu civilization happened between the 17th and 20th century by the British occupation. The will to run the same overpopulation and superstition, but to the most sordid and criminal exploitation of one nation by another in all recorded history. You can see the pictures of people, Indians especially. During the British occupation, $45 trillion were looted from India over 200 years. 45 million Hindus were dead due to famines and poverty imposed by British policy and looting and destruction reduced it to a poster child of a third world poverty. Next, civilizing mission, even though it was a mere cover for the racial oppression and economic exploitation. Do you not see then, by following these studies, you are walking in the very colonial subjugation, 200 years of intense racial hatred towards Hindus. Hindus are full of dissimulation and falsehood, the universal concomitants of aggression in the writings of the Hindus. Very few words are required, especially regarding Islam, because the superiority of the Mohammedans in respect to religion is beyond all dispute. In Catholic Church performs 250 years of ethnic cleansing in Goa. The fathers of the church forbade the Hindus under terrible penalties the use of their own sacred books and prevented them from torture and death if they worshipped. To see Hindus and Muslims fighting side by side under each other's command against the foreign oppressor. They vowed this would not happen again. Divide and rule was an old Roman maxim, and it shall be our British Empire used all possible means to destroy the Hindu civil and cultural institutions in order to delegitimize and demoralize the indigenous people of India, so they would become slaves in their own homelands. The anti-Hindu narratives destroyed indigenous Gurukul education system, destroyed local industries and forced importation of British goods, banned Indians from owning or producing the firearms. Beastly people with beastly religion, the famine was their own fault for breeding like rabbits. Harsh British tax and export policies in poor as others committed suicide to escape from their living hell. British invaders destroyed the local industry to ensure dependence and poverty. Prior to colonial rule, India was the world's leading textiles from being sold in foreign markets. Within a generation, the Hindu weavers were turned into beggars and their indigenous skills were lost forever. They destroyed the local industry to ensure they started designing and building their own models at a fraction of the cost of the imported British trains. The British Parliament responded by seizure, taxation, and the ruin of Hindu temples. It was strange but determined piece of policy when throughout the country the pagoda lands were resumed by the East India Company, the lapse of years and natural death. Some of the most celebrated temples in the country are worse off, but there are still, alas, many more strongholds of the devil. One school and the Sudras and other low caste children constituted 70 to 84% of the students. In contrast, a century of direct British misrule of India left taste and opinion in moral and in intellect. To that class, we may leave it to refine the vernacular dialects of the country, their best efforts to adopt the English language, clothing and mannerisms. The anglicized brown British native clerks of India were often viewed with contempt and ridiculed as Bengali babus by their whitish gentlemen. Concerned India, they being just a handful needed to widen their political and psychological management of India and Indians. Thus, they began to focus on the education of native princes and the pursuit of the objective in Macaulay's Minute on Education of 1837. Into the Criminal Tribes Act of 1871, the British government passed the Tribes Act, where various ethnic communities were deemed subversive to colonial authorities simply because they did not conform to the idea of civilized living. Their idea of colonies or quarantined without conviction or due process. Upon release from British custody, the targeted communities were subject to demonize the Hindus and feed the stereotype of savage Oriental. British authorities and media sensationalized the stories of bloodthirsty thuggies or bandits who would offer the human sacrifices to the wicked and fearsome to suspend the civil liberties and target subversive elements that challenged the British hegemony. The secular India had been fraught with mismanagement, neglect, corruption, theft of jewels and deities, and alienation of the temple land. Many temples constructed at least 1,500 years dedicated to Lord Ayyappa in Kerala, where the South India represents one of the Hinduism's unique spiritual ecosystems. The form of Ayyappa worshipped and are equally allowed access, while the Sabarimala is a single exception. Ayyappa devotees undergo 41 period of celibacy, fasting, and other penances prior to making the pilgrimage to prepare their body. This is a temple which has been visited over 50 million devotees a year, and it is one of the world's largest pilgrimage sites that is exceeded only by Mecca. Given its prominence, the Sabarimala temple has been targeted by the anti-Hindu social activists for years. As Chief Minister of Travancore Cochin, Keshavan, he says that if a Hindu temple is destroyed, that much superstition is being destroyed. So you can see openly it is a statement made by somebody in the government that is so anti-Hindu. Next is the media narratives used to stereotype and demoralize the Hindus. The use of propaganda against the enemy supported by such military commonly used in psychological warfare are the same as those that is being used in civilian life, radio, newspaper, motion pictures, etc. Similar to British imperial propaganda. You can see here how India today denigrates the Hindu sari while praising the Muslim hijab. The glutted in a Hindu population that is demoralized, delegitimized, and without a sense of identity except to pathetically aid the West. This is a textbook case of internalized racism. Highest need. So far we have seen how the great Hindu civilization went through three different phases of Hindu Holocaust. The first being the physical destruction by the Islamic invaders, the next being the identity of anybody who practices Hinduism. So, at this stage, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, of the amount of hard work and the amount of revolution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created in last 26 years in reviving the Sanatana Hindu Dharma for the second time. In the next segment, we're going to see some of the some of the important contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in combating the ongoing pandemic and how he has opened his homes of Kailasa despite he being persecuted more than a decade.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. Pollution, ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world. All power. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. All of us are ecosystem. Dharma protect you. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity.
Welcome back. And now, us women have gone through, and that recognition being made by none other than the United Nations as the report on the India, women and children in India is quite abysmal, as one has seen from various reports. Despite tremendous public outcry against crimes against women and children, such as rape, sexual violence, gender bias of India has been either unwilling or unable to curtail these crimes. India is right now being labeled as the most dangerous country for sexual violence against women. According to the Thomson Reuters Foundation, increased by 82% in the year 2016 compared with the previous year. Sexual violence and brutal rape, as one has seen in the various news reports that have been flashing for a number of years now, have been weaponized against minority women and children, especially by extremist militant elements at the highest level in spiritual traditions and of ethnic native Hindu tribes that have existed in India for millennia. One such indigenous spiritual tradition currently targeted for extermination by the and young girls of the ASMT community were the most vulnerable target of these neo-Hindutva extremist militant forces. The ASMT explicitly rejects extremism of all types. The extremist militant elements are. The spiritual head of the ASMT has publicly declared himself, as we all know, Bhagwan has declared himself to be transcendental gender and possessing multiple gender components. The neo-Hindutva extremists, teachers. The ASMT represents one of the most progressive ideologies and is a target of persecution by the neo-Hindutva extremists.
In the last decade, especially in India, there has been an alarming trend in the video of the ASMT actress Ranjita was repeatedly and sensationally broadcasted by the Sun TV and various media channels to defame her character and to delegitimize her guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, disciples. The media targeted the ASMT minor girls by publishing their pictures in the national newspapers with vulgar captions. The media published fame in media as a rumor. This smear campaign is just not limited to ASNT women, the ASNT female monks, but the most vulnerable target of extremists. The US courts sentenced the child rapist to 57 months of imprisonment. This did not damage the remedy. Were all rejected by the court with a penalty for defamation with cost. In India, however, the Neo-Hindutva media ran 14,000 hours of hateful programs, includes cult worshippers, sex slaves, and also published violence inciting prejudice narratives such as hang the sin swamis. In India, court orders are not upheld by the government. The Indian government and the Indian state departments are perceived as one of the most corrupt in the world. The mainstream Indian media and social media, there is no legal recourse available in India. In India, like we mentioned before, the court orders are not upheld by the government. The Indian government and the Indian state departments are perceived as one of the most corrupt in the world, and the mainstream Indian media and explicitly mentioned how the court was prone to prejudice by this negative media propaganda. Though the media can influence the judiciary in India, the court judgments are toothless in curbing the media hate propaganda. The ASMT actress Ranjita, the victim of the celebrity deepfake petition in the High Court of Karnataka, implementation of the order of various quasi-legal institutions. Finally, the media's self-regulatory quasi-legal body, the NBSA, ordered its member channels to remove the fabricated defamatory videos from their websites. None of the media houses compiled with the order have a website listing their policies to self-regulate these malpractices. The NHRC, the National Human Rights Commission, has maintained silence on the subject and pushed the responsibility on the state executives. A politically owned Neo-Hindutva media channel aired a media report which it accused the channel went on to justify their sad sexual objectifications of Hindu nuns, terming it as an unbiased reporting. Indian courts are unwilling or unable to protect the 17, a court penalized a Neo-Hindutva media to the tune list continue the smear campaign. On 2nd of March 2010, the sensational and repeated screening of the Neo-Hindutva terrorist. On 7th of June 2012, Bengaluru, Neo-Hindutva militants attacked on the ASMT monastery. Several ASMT nuns were raped. The Chief Minister of Karnataka cruelly and illegally interrogated children in the ASMT school, which is Gurukul. The interrogation was done without the consent of the parents, with no video recording of the examiners. Late night beyond the time, Kabul was sued by the state for intervening in the violations of the rights of the children and the parents. Such raids were conducted by the state, and many other vexational legal proceedings and orders were executed by the state to forcibly shut down the school. Sexualization of Hindu female saint Andal by politically owned media. Several obscene morphed videos depicting Nithyananda and the ASMT children were uploaded on social media by unknown groups. Of these children in the High Court, police complaint against the state authorities were closed without investigation, and the petition to the court was forced to be with such targeted persecution of Hindu nuns and female religious leaders is not limited to ASNT, but aimed at destroying the rights of the indigenous female spiritual leaders. Vexatious litigations have been used to persecute female Hindu spirituals. So what we have seen today is essentially the glorious contest and how especially the female monks and the children of the ASMT community is targeted by the Neo-Hindutva groups and the paid media. So the report has been, So now we will be entering into the celebrations of Guru Purnima from the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya from Bidadi, Bangalore. So stay tuned to join us for the celebration.
Kailasa. Listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, is E-Kailasa.
Is participating in this puja to come and settle down.